Prime, I'm going through a rough time, and my boss told me I can step down from the lead or the tech lead position and work as a SWE again. Do you think this would be seen as a bad thing in my resume? What do you guys think? Chat. I want to hear from you. SWE. Okay. SWE. Yeah. Some peeps are cut off from management. Some aren't. Is there will you have any economic ramifications? Is there a reason for him suggesting because of a personal issue? Is it personal issue? Are you worried about getting your position back? Can we get some more deets? Depends on how you frame it. Yeah. Depends on how well you can explain it. Okay. Depends on the rich. It's a health issue. Ooh, it's a health issue. All right, so I'm going to be real here. I think that if you're having a health issue, or really just any like intense like family-based issue, like I know there's some engineers in our community who have their little kiddos going through cancer treatment and stuff. They've reached out, they whispered me, and honestly, like any form of health issue is so emotionally tough. Whether it's you, beautiful wife, kiddos, even your mom, your dad, like that stuff's real, and life, I've said this before, but like I encourage you guys to work hard. I get shit on Twitter because I say hard work is a good thing, and people are always like, oh, you got to qualify that. No, I think hard work's a good thing. I think you should work hard. Stop with the excuses, just work hard. But if you don't have something you're working for, if you don't have someone to enjoy it with, if you're sacrificing it with your health, you're working so hard that you're just selling out your 70s body, it's not worth it, right? It's just not worth it. Work is meant to be enjoyed. I always think about, the old ancient Hebrew story of Adam and Eve. Like, even in their story, they had Adam working in the garden when everything was perfect. And like, that's real. That means like there's something fundamental about human and work life. Like it is very, very important. But if you don't have, if you're sacrificing yourself for it, it's not worth it. I don't think it was ever meant to be that way. I don't think it was ever meant to be at the expense of. I think it's meant to be. I think it's really it gives you purpose, a sense of meaning. It can give you something to to work at, to feel proud of. Those are all great things. But if you feel obligated and you feel worried about your future, you're already at a company, you're hired during a tough time with a bunch of layoffs, you're in a tech lead position, you'll get to a tech lead again. It's not like you're going to lose your ability. You're just stepping back because you have a real life problem. And to me, that just seems perfectly reasonable. Here, let me invert this. Do you want to work at a company in which wouldn't hire you and would feel suspicious of you if you took work off due to health, or you reduced your position from a high communication, high hour position to a lower hour position? Would you want to work at a company like that? And the answer is no, you wouldn't. No one would want to do that. We'd want to work at a company that can understand and support you during these things. Like Netflix is really generous about those things. Netflix would very, very much so. When my wife had surgery 4 months ago, I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to be off for a while. And then I even told him I think January is going to be pretty hard. And he ended up saying, well, here's the deal. In January, how about you work around life? You don't make life around work. Because when we're working, we work our life around our job. But he gave me the invert and just said, hey, you need to be off for a little bit. You need to go do that. Go do that. Make your work around your life. Get things back into position. And then let's hit it hard in February. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in to do that. That's good. And so I do feel like you want to work at a place that understands that there's very good value in nurturing and caring for your staff. And, not every place is going to be like that. Some places are going to be old school. They're going to be more intense. But there's also plenty of great companies, right? There's plenty of great companies. and you will be able to find a great company too. So I'm not one of those people that, I don't think of every company as bad or good. I think just some are great, some suck. And if you run into a situation where health issues mean that you're not being a good employee, they're just not a good company. That's all there is to it. Work hard when you can work hard. Enjoy your job. Take satisfaction. Take pride in what you do. Work to the best of your abilities. Be happy about it. I don't believe in quiet quitting. I don't think it's a good thing. I work as if it is my own project, and I try to make it the best I can possibly make it, because for me, my work is important to be good for the sake of my work being good. But when I need to take a break, I need to take a break for real reasons. And I think that's just a good way to live your life. I think that it's just harder not to live that way. That's all.